Imagine waking up to find the beach outside your hotel gone. Not eroded by a storm, not swallowed by the tide, just missing. In July 2008, in Coral Spring, Jamaica, a fleet of trucks and excavators moved in under the cover of darkness. By morning, 500 truckloads of white sand had vanished. 400 meters of coastline, stolen in a single night. No witnesses. No arrests. Just an empty space where paradise used to be. It sounds like a movie plot, but it's a symptom of a global crisis. Sand is the most consumed solid resource on Earth. We use 50 billion tons of it every year, second only to water. We are quite literally building the modern world out of sand, and we're running out of the kind we actually need. This isn't just about a stolen beach in Jamaica. It's about what happens when the foundation of our civilization starts to slip through our fingers. You'd think the Sahara, a 3.6 million square mile sandbox, would be a gold mine. But to a civil engineer, the Sahara is a desert of useless glass beads. To understand why, we have to look at fluid dynamics and geomorphology. In a desert, the primary sculptor is the wind. This process, known as aeolian transport, involves a phenomenon called saltation. Grains of sand are picked up and bounced against one another millions of times over millennia. This constant ball milling effect buffs the grains into near-perfect spheres. Under a microscope, desert sand looks like marbles. But for concrete we need aggregates. Concrete isn't just a solid block. It's a composite material. You have the binder, cement, and the filler, sand and gravel. If you use spherical desert sand, the grains simply slide past one another under pressure. This is the internal friction angle problem. In contrast, alluvial sand, found in rivers and lake beds, is shaped by water. Because water is roughly 800 times denser than air, it acts as a hydraulic cushion. The grains don't smash, they grind. This leaves them with subangular or angular edges. When mixed with cement, these jagged edges lock together like a 3D jigsaw puzzle. This creates a high compressive strength. Without that interlocking mechanical bond, a skyscraper would literally sag under its own weight. This is why the United Arab Emirates, despite being buried in sand, imported 45 million tons of sharp sand from Australia to build the Burj Khalifa and the Palm Islands. We are literally shipping the ground from one hemisphere to the other because nature's wrong sand is everywhere, and the right sand is vanishing. Between 2011 and 2013, China poured more concrete than the US did in the entire 20th century. Think about that. Every highway, skyscraper, and dam built in America from 1900 to 1999, China matched and exceeded that in just 36 months. Where does that volume come from? It comes from places like Lake Poyang, China's largest freshwater lake. It has become the sand capital of the world. At the height of the boom, dredgers were pulling 236 million cubic meters of sand out of the lake every single year. To visualize that, imagine a line of dump trucks stretching around the equator several times. The environmental math is terrifying. The rate of extraction is roughly 30 times the rate of natural sediment replacement from the Yangtze River. Then there is the expansion factor. Countries like Singapore have grown their landmass by 25% since independence by literally pouring sand into the ocean. But this isn't a victimless expansion. To grow Singapore, neighboring Indonesia has seen over 24 small islands completely disappear from the map. When you remove sand from a seabed or a river, you destroy fish spawning grounds and alter water pH. In the Mekong Delta, the removal of sand has lowered the riverbed so much that the hydraulic gradient has flipped, The ocean is now pushing salt water inland, poisoning the rice paddies that feed 20 million people. Sand doesn't just hold up our ceilings, it powers our thoughts. Your smartphone, your car's GPS, and the AI processing this video all rely on silicon. But your iPhone doesn't run on river silt. It runs on the rarest super sand on Earth, high-purity quartz. Deep in the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina sits a tiny town called Spruce Pine. Millions of years ago, as the continents collided, a specific hydrothermal event occurred. Friction and heat melted the earth, and as it cooled slowly, it filtered out almost every impurity. What was left was quartz with a purity of 5 nines. In the semiconductor world, purity is everything. If a single atom of boron or phosphorus is out of place in a silicon wafer, the transistor fails. To reach this level, the quartz is melted in a crucible made of, you guessed it, even pure quartz. Here is the terrifying part. Spruce Pine is a global single point of failure. Almost every high-end silicon crucible on the planet starts in this one North Carolina mine. If a major hurricane, a strike, or a geological shift closed those mines, the global production of high-end microchips would stop within 6 months. We have built a multi-trillion-dollar digital civilization on a foundation of magic sand that comes from one specific zip code. Our entire technological future is tied to a hole in the ground in Appalachia. When a resource becomes more valuable than silver but as easy to find as dirt, the rule of law tends to evaporate. In many parts of the developing world, sand mining has transitioned from a local trade into a lethal, organized crime syndicate, the sand mafia. In India, the sand mafia is a $2 billion a year shadow economy. Because the government restricted mining to save disappearing rivers, the price of sand skyrocketed. Illegal miners now operate under the cover of night, using fleets of hundreds of trucks and thousands of suicide divers. These divers leap from small boats into 20-foot deep, murky river currents, filling buckets by hand with no oxygen tanks, often dying from the pressure or getting trapped in the silt. This isn't just a crime against nature, it's a war.
News now from Tamil Nadu, where a head constable who intercepted an alleged sand smuggling tractor was killed after being run over by the vehicle. This took place in Tamil Nadu's Vellore.
Journalists like Shubham Mani Tripathi and activists who have dared to photograph illegal mining sites have been run over by sand trucks or assassinated. In 2020 alone, hundreds of people were killed in sand-related violence across the globe. We are paying for our concrete with human lives and environmental stability. We are reaching the peak sand era. If we keep digging at this rate, there won't be a beach left to steal by 2100. So, how do we decouple human progress from destructive extraction? The answer lies in materials science. The most immediate solution is manufactured sand. Instead of waiting for a river to grind rocks over 10,000 years, we do it in 10 seconds. Using vertical shaft compactor, we throw hard rocks like granite against the rock shelf at high speeds. This creates a cubical grain that mimics the interlocking properties of river sand. It's more energy intensive, but it's 100% sustainable as long as we have rock. Researchers at Imperial College London have even developed a material called finite. It's a binder that can take that useless smooth desert sand and chemically lock it together. If we can make finite commercially viable, the Sahara stops being a wasteland and starts being the world's largest resource for sustainable housing. The Great Sand Heist of Jamaica was more than a weird news story. It was a symptom of a planet out of balance. We spent the last century treating sand like it was infinite, a free gift from the earth. But every grain has a history, and every truckload has a cost.